Ladies and motherfuckers, I'm J.C. from Phantom, and welcome to the Tampa Morgue.
I'm Raír from Phantom. Welcome to the Tampa Morgue.
What's up? This is Tony, and you're listening to the Tampa Morgue Season 2, Episode 79. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host from his studio deep in the death metal capital of the world, Mr. Ed Webb. How you doing, Mr. Webb?
Mr. Anderson, hopefully we got shit going right today.
2 o'clock in the morning, nothing's going right, man.
What's going on, brother?
Not much, just chilling on the Tampa Morgue here at 2 a.m. We got some guests coming on tonight. We didn't announce it last week because we didn't know. That's one thing about this show is sometimes shit just happens out of the blue. Tonight we are joined by the guys from Phantom, and we actually opened up the show with Phantom, Reaper's Bane, off the Hand It to Execution record that came out in 2023. Phantom's from Mexico, a killer band. Definitely looking forward to have those guys on tonight. They have a new record coming out called Tyrants of Wrath on High Roller Records, April 25th. They're doing their first European tour in September. They have a video actually coming out today for Thunderbeast, but we're going to get those guys on and we'll talk to them. And I think we're saying, Ed, that again, we're going to kind of keep it a little short in the beginning tonight. We got some stuff to announce. It's just some shows and some releases and stuff, man. But, otherwise, how you been doing?
I'm great, man. I'm just enjoy sitting at home doing nothing, playing in my one-man band. Yeah, I just I'm not a go out partier guy, so I just and obviously every other band in the world's out touring except for Monstrosity. We like to stay home and just hang out.
But you guys have a new record coming out, and that may all change once we
do. We're actually taking pictures next week for the record,
nice.
Which is one of, as you know, it's one of my least favorite things to do. We just did some for Generic Christ when you were in town. So yeah, it is what it is.
But you guys have an old school photographer coming out, so it should come out. It should be killer.
Tim Hubbard. It's yeah, he's done a lot. Actually, a lot of his work. He had a whole table at the museum of his stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's definitely.
He's been around forever. So
yes, so that's definitely cool, man. And
been lucky on this record, man. Got to do vocals with Prater, Mark Prater, and Jim Morris. So a lot of cool stuff. Having Tim do the pictures, it's kind of like an old nostalgic kind of thing. I never thought. A lot of bucket list shit happening, so that's cool.
Well, once we get, once you guys get closer to releasing it, man, we'll definitely play some of the new monstrosity on here. And again, everybody who listens, we do appreciate it. And whoever's sending us in, I was talking to Ed, actually, I was telling him, each week we get more releases sent to us. Just it's cool, man. For all of our listeners who are sending us those, we appreciate those. We get more every week. And whoever listens, who hasn't listened to us before, who are joining us, you can always go back and listen to a bunch of old shows. Me and Ed have been doing this this is our third year. It's not our third year, but we've been doing it since 2023, 2024, not 2025. We've put out shows during that time period. This is episode number 79. And pretty much now we kind of do them weekly when we can. We don't always announce the guests because we don't always, some of it's last minute. Like I know we didn't announce the Phantom guys coming on tonight until this week on the Instagram page because some stuff spur of the moment, right, Ed?
Well, it's a lot of times things have to be set up,
confirmed
according to schedule. If we can get it done and you're available and I'm available, I mean, it's 2:00 in the morning. For you. So, and then other times I'm doing it at 7, 8 in the morning because we have a European guy. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
we sacrifice shit to make it happen. That's what we do.
Time is time, man. If I worked a, 60-hour-a-week job, I probably wouldn't be doing this because, once you're set on a time schedule, it's harder to lock people down in the off time. So I'm lucky and blessed to be able to do what we do, like you. You know what I mean? We're able to throw around, and plus we have to work around your wife's schedule too because of the kids. Because you can't have
and she's a doctor, so her job is much more important than mine. So
Well, I'm talking about having the kids come in and yell about caca and stuff.
Yeah. I got two little ones. So
that episode, that was such a great Daddy caca.
Yeah,
that was awesome. But I mean, yeah. So doing these shows is fun, and we schedule them if we know in advance. Like a lot of times we do know in advance and we're able to tell people.
That's why Instagram is probably the best thing to keep in touch with us because, we kind of keep all the guests go up there. So once we find out, once we confirm it, like Ed said, sometimes it's hard you want to make sure it's locked up before you announce it because sometimes shit can fall through. But,
we had that with the Satan guy.
Yeah, Brian from Satan, which we'll try to reschedule that. But besides that, everyone else has worked out. We've had, like I said, we'll just announce just whoever hasn't heard the show before, you can go back and listen. There's some episodes. Is like number 4. Fourth episode was Paul from Pat from Hell, which it's already 2:00 in the morning. Episode number 8 was Bobby Gustafson from Overkill, Pain Ward. Episode 13, Blaine Cook from The Accused. Episode 55, we had King Fally on. Episode 65, we had Glenn Destructor on from Destructor out of Australia. Episode 62, we had Udo on. What else do we have? We had Dave Austin on episode 18 from Nasty Savage. Episode 19, John Gallagher from Raven. We had Jim and Pat from Morbid Saint on episode 29. Dawn of the Dead from Nunslaughter on episode 31. Kyle Thomas from X-Hoarder and Trouble and Floodgate on episode 33. The guys from Witch Trap on episode 60. We had Henry from God Dethroned on episode 57. Gene from Angel Corpse on episode 50. Chris Reifert from Autopsy. Abscess on episode 49. Episode 51, Bloody Mess in the Scabs. We always say if everybody's a G.G. Allen fan, there's a lot of G.G. Allen stories on that one. We had Knox from Enforced on episode 75, Martin Missy from Protector on 74, Snowy Shaw, obviously King Diamond, Notre Dame, episode 35. And obviously, episode 77, we had Jeff Mantis from Venom. That was a 5-hour episode, and still getting a shitload of downloads. So we appreciate anybody's listening to that. That's a great episode. If you're a Venom fan, there's a lot, tons and tons of Venom history there, and a lot of he basically goes through the history and gives his version of it and tells us, with fact or fiction. So it's definitely for if you're a Venom fan, definitely worth listening to. And we appreciate anybody that checks it out. Ed, like I said, we got some releases and shows, and I didn't really pay attention to much news this week. I did see that Slayer was playing their first Canadian show in 6 years in Quebec, at July 11th, at the Plains of Abraham. What else? Cancer, UK's Cancer will put out a new record in April on Peaceville. But I did see one thing did you see the Kiss 5-inch pure gold record they're putting out?
Yes.
Did you see how much they're asking for that record?
No, I did not.
What would you guess? So it's only 5. It's only 5 in existence. Okay. They're made to order, so nothing's in existence really. But they're made out of 8 ounces of 0.999 24 karat pure gold.
Oh wow.
Yes.
50,000.
You're perfect. 50,000. That's what they're asking.
Really?
For that. Yeah.
Wow.
50,000. I mean that. I'm sure there'll be one guy who buys that, but 50K. I mean, that's who does? I mean, it's smart though. Like I've heard a lot of people say it's probably a good marketing thing. They probably don't expect to sell too many. They just figure the press off of it will keep their name in the spiral.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's 50,000.
The whole Avatar thing still has me like spun into a circle. I'm still not.
Supposedly they're going to announce that before the year's over. So I guess maybe toward December, I think they were saying, or something like that.
Yay them.
Yeah. So, but 50,000, and I think the value of that gold, if you actually like what went today's prices, is like 25,000 altogether.
So you said there's 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 of them. Well, and none of them are made yet. They're all going to be print to order. So, I'm sure someone's going to buy one at least. I'm sure there's someone who has to have some guy who has way too much money. But yeah, I saw that and I was just like, damn. But I also saw that there was also this week Coburn Farr from Annihilator, died 62 years old. He had a killer voice, man. Jeff
Neverland.
Yeah, Neverland. You remember too,
Which
Randy Rampage was dead. He died too from Alice in Hell, and he was also on the
2017?
Alice in Hell demo. 2018, I believe, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw him. I saw that tour.
Alice in Hell or the Neverland?
Both, but I saw Randy. They opened up for, I want to say it was Testament at Janus Landing. It was either Testament or Dark Angel. I can't remember which one it was, but they were killer. Randy's vocals, obviously Alice in Hell, the song is when he hits those screams, it's just something different. But yeah, Neverland was a great record too.
And his voice was I thought his voice was so unique.
What's weird is seeing Jeff sing now and play guitar, because he's taken over the vocals.
Yeah.
So it's just very strange. But yeah, no, the Annihilator's always been one of those great, they don't put out shit. So
no, yeah, definitely killer band. I saw Carl Cochran died too. From I don't know if you know Carl. He was with the Ace Frehley band. He was with Thor.
Yes. Yep.
Joe Lynn Turner. He actually wrote one of the on Psycho Circus from Kiss. Going back to Kiss again, he wrote one of the songs on that record too. Into the Void. So he passed away, killed in a car accident, I believe. He was only 61, and that's 61. For us now, 61 seems pretty. It's like that's too young, right? It's I saw he passed away, and also Abel Hurtado. I don't want to say his name wrong. Hurtado from Peru, from Blasphemer, Priest, and Necrolust, the bassist. He passed away too. So we have someone who sends we actually have a listener who sends me some of the people who pass away's names to our Instagram, so he did send me that. But
Gene
yeah,
Hackman and
Gene
that whole
Hackman, yeah, that's
thing with
today,
that
man.
today. His wife and his dog. I told you this morning when I seen that we were talking like carbon monoxide or something, but
Some crazy
something's
shit.
fishy. Something's
Yeah.
fishy.
I
When
mean, and she
all
was younger. She was in her 60s, and obviously Gene, I mean, he was a great actor. You know,
I
he
didn't realize he was 95.
either did I. But that's the thing now. Do you really, when you see all these, like the people that we grew up watching, you think about we're getting older, then you see their ages, and you're
Well,
like, oh shit.
Christopher Reeve. I mean, he was Lex Luger. I mean, Lex
Yeah.
Luthor.
Yeah.
Lex Luger, like not the wrestler, Luthor. But those movies were great with Christopher Reeve. You know what I mean? That was
Yep.
to me, besides the TV show Superman, that was the real deal. He was old then, you know, because
Yeah.
you got to think about that. If he's 95, we saw when was that Superman? The 80s with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, and I was telling my wife today. Actually, we're talking about Alice Cooper because we're big Alice Cooper fans here, and I said, man, I remember when the Trash album came out, and I thought Alice was old then when I was a kid.
Right.
And how old was that? How old is that
Yeah.
record now? You know, it's going back to the 80s on that one.
I just saw a story on him that was funny as shit, man. He was talking about when he went and saw Elvis. You ever hear that story?
I don't know if I have.
He said that he was called to go up and meet Elvis. I don't know if it was a hotel or where it was, but he said he got in the elevator and it was him, Liza Minnelli, Chubby Checker, and oh my God, I can't remember the other person. It was one more person. It's just like the most unimaginable people going up to meet, you know, him, and he called him the Snake Guy, and then he showed him a gun or something, a 38 special he had in his like kitchen drawer, and he gave it to Alice Cooper, and he said that he was going to show him how he could disarm a weapon, and next thing you know, Alice said he was on the ground with like Elvis's boot in his neck. And yeah, it was crazy. He said only 3 people came down the elevator that night, and somebody was thinking it was Liza Minnelli. And he goes, so yeah, I don't know what happened with him and Chubby Checker. That was what he said. And it was funny because, you know, I'm thinking,
There's actually a photo of Alice and it's Cooper and the actress who played Edith. You know, on
yeah, I seen that
at Studio 54. You know,
I saw that.
Yep.
That.
It's an old picture from that.
He's
He's
been
great.
with. I mean, just think about the time eras that he's been a part of, and all the bands he's like the early days of Black Sabbath to the 80s to the 90s.
He was doing the Spiders back in the day, which was a killer band. You know, I mean, yeah, love Alice Cooper. Let me see, and yeah, you got to see him last week, so
yeah, it was great too, man. I again, definitely worth the price of admission for a guy. I mean, he does not stop like Willie. Like, I don't know how these old guys can just go song to song to song to song. After a song, I'm ready to puke half the time.
it's because they don't stop. They keep on going, man. We always say, like, you know, it's when you like Alice Cooper, he's always on tour. I mean, the guy is always putting out tour dates.
Same thing with Willie. I mean,
Yeah.
I looked, I'm like, didn't we just see him and it was like 2023. And I'm like, wow, it was 2 years. Like 2 years, like literally went that fast. So it's crazy.
Lifers. That's they are definitely lifers. So Ed, I'm going to go through some releases here that we could, we're going to get the guys from Phantom on, talk to them. So I'm going to bang out the releases I have. And again, thanks for everybody who sends these to us. I'm going to go through these. And let me see here. We got a band called Spoiled out of Italy, a thrash hardcore band. The album is called Collapse on Gruesome Records out of Portugal. Spoil formed in 2017. This is the self-titled 9-song EP. In 2000, they put out a self-titled 9-song EP in 2018. They put out a demo called Anti-Human Machine Gun in 2022. And this comes out February 27th, which was actually yesterday. So the band is called Spoiled again. The album is called Collapse. Then we have Red Eye from Spain. It's a stoner psychedelic metal band. The album is called 3. Label is Discos Macaros out of Spain, if I'm saying that right. Red Eyes, let me see here. This is Red Eye's third full length and follow-up to the 2022 The Cycle record. This comes out today, February 28th. Buried Faith out of Germany. It's a thrash metal band. I think they're actually located in Ohio now, it says. Blackened Skies, Open Graves is the name of the record. It's an independent release. They put out a demo in 2023 titled Trapped in This Nightmare. This is their debut full length, and that also comes out today on Destruction out of Germany. We all know Destruction. Birth of Malice on Napalm Records, 18th full length. Damn. It's a follow-up to 2022's Diabolical full length. They did put out the Birth of Malice EP in 2024. They also do a cover of Accepts Fast as a Shark on this. Let me see here. Impurity out of Sweden, death metal band formed in 2022. Title The Eternal Sleep. Label Hammerheart Records out of the Netherlands. 10 tracks. Let me see here. This comes out March 7th. Features members past and present of Hellgoat, Cadaveric, and Slaughter Coffin. Holy Death out of Los Angeles, originally from Vegas. Title is Paradise. Independent release. Holy Death formed in 2019. The band's second full length. This will be. They also put out 8 EPs. This comes out March 7th, and that's Paradise from Holy Death. Sadist from Italy, a death metal band. Title of the record is Something to Pierce. Label Agonia Records out of Poland. Sadist formed in 91. This is the band's 10th full length, and that's also March 7th. Carnal Forge, man, I remember I must have interviewed Carnal Forge years ago in the River Rag from Sweden. The name of the record is The Fractured Process. It's coming out on Vicosium Productions out of Sweden. Carnal Forge, obviously they formed in 97. The EP is the first. There's actually an EP that's coming out. The EP is the first release since the band's 2019 Gun to Mouth Salvation full length. Has 3 tracks on it, and that's March 7th also. And I think I have, let me see here. I still have a few more. Like I said, we've been getting a shitload of these sent in, Ed. Warhammer out of Germany. It's a death thrash metal band. Title is Total Maniac on High Roller Records. The band's 6 full length, 10 tracks. March 12th. Cryptosis out of the Netherlands, progressive metal band. Celestial Death on Century Media Records. The band formed in 2020. It'll be the band's second full length. The first one came out in 2021. Bionic Swarm. Let me see here. Chemicide from Costa Rica. It's a thrash metal band. Violence Prevails. Listenable Records out of France. 11 tracks. The band's third full length. War Magic out of Sweden. Death metal band. Atomic Rights. Let me see here. And that's March 7th also. And I got 2 more, and that's it. And then, Ed, if you have anything. Avulsed, obviously led by Dave Rotten. We all know Avulsed, formed in 91. They've been around for a while. Phoenix, Cryptobiosis. Avulsed, this is their 8th full-length record. The last one was 2013, Death Generation. That's March 4th that comes out. And the last one I have is Cannibal Abortion from Chicago, death metal band. Carnivorous Metamorphosis. Off of Rotten Music out of London. This is their second full-length, band formed in 2015, follow-up to the band's 2018 full-length, Diminished to Subhuman Behavior. That comes out February 28th, which is today. And Ed, you got anything for releases?
Just a couple I checked out on Spotify. I'm assuming they came out this week because they weren't there last week, so I'll go ahead and announce them. The new Septic Flesh, which those guys are actually pretty brutal. The record's called Amphibians. It's actually looks like a 4-song EP. But from what I heard, it was pretty brutal. Bleeding Through, which, I mean, they're not technically death metal, but we announce pretty much everything on here. So the record's called 9. A band I checked out, I never heard of them before, called God Complex. He Watches in Silence. And yeah, it was fucking fast. It was definitely pretty badass. And then, of course, one of your favorite bands in the world. I mean, every time we talk off the phone, you just talk nonstop.
I'm sure I'm going to hate this band, or not hate them, but not be a fan. Go ahead. I'm pretty sure you're building up to this.
No, you've been telling me about David Draymond for a long time.
Disturbed
put a new song out, so
yeah.
I know you want to hear some.
Wow.
I know you can't wait to go put that on repeat.
Me,
so it's on Spotify. You can put.
No
it on
offense to
repeat.
anybody who likes it, just not my cup of tea. But
yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so I guess I got a few. So there's a few shows that I'll announce. Then we're going to get to the guys from Phantom, because let me see here. We'll get them all set up. So I'm just going to announce a few shows that I have. I know the guys from Vacuous Depth sent me a new date for them too. So we'll announce that also. Let me try to do this in order, which it never works. Friday, February 28th. The Path of Increased Indifference. It's a record release show. They're playing with Dead Mirror, Per, Headless State, Prescribed Fire, and that's going to be at Deviant Libation, 3800 North Nebraska Avenue, Tampa, Florida. $15. Doors at 6, show at 7, and that is Friday, February 28th. Bar Festival, which is March 7th. Oblivion, Siren, Chaos, Midnight Vice, John Stallworth, Must Not Kill, Thrash Attack,
Jason Stallworth.
Jason Stallworth, Thrash Attack. That's March 7th. That doors are at 6. Free beer, free pizza while it lasts. Bring your own beer. Wristbands are $25. 4502 Hill Drive, Valrica, Florida. Side Yard Studio. That's taking place.
They go up to 35 after March 1st.
See, there
that's
you go.
put out the little warning there.
And then March 1st also, let me see here. South Florida Metal Fest. Kill House Live presents. It's Live Kill from Fort Lauderdale. Silent Mara from Miami. Worthy of the Crown from Fort Walton. In Ruins from Oklahoma. Mannequin Kind from Fort Lauderdale. Mind Virus from Port St. Louis. Amana Ram. I butcher some of these names and I apologize. From West Palm Beach. The Banyan Live that's taking place at 8199 Southern Boulevard, West Palm Beach. That's actually a free show, 18 and up. A couple of dates that I saw that Cavalier Conspiracy, that's March 17th with Necrot and Dead Heat, and that's in Orlando, I believe at the Abbey. Let me see here. Metal Battle of the Bands 2025 at the Brass Mug, 1450 Skipper Road. That's Wire Throne, Nocturnal Dawn, Voidrium. We got Vince from Voidrium on a couple weeks ago. Endorus, and there's a couple more bands also on that. That's $20, and that's gonna be March 15th. And so obviously, Ed, you saw this too. Saturday, April 19th at the Yingling Center, Cannibal Corpse, Carcass, and Meshuggah. That's Saturday, April 19th. And then Saturday, April 5th, Killing Addiction, Vacuous Depths, Ramtha. Doors at 8, $5. It's at the Mutiny in Ocala. It's 46 South Magnolia Avenue, Ocala, Florida. And I think that's all I have. Unless you got any shows, Ed, I have nothing else.
Later, May 31st.
When's that? What is it?
May 31st, Necro Goblin.
And where's that at? The Orpheum?
The Orpheum. Yep. May 31st.
31st.
That's a ways away. A little ways away.
I actually saw I forgot that Cannibal Corpse and Carcass are coming there too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Carcass since we saw them after the cruise in Orlando. Like that was the last time I saw them, which was how long ago now?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh no, I saw them at the Orpheum with Sacred Reich and Municipal Waste. It was a great show. I mean, they fucking crushed. That was.
I haven't seen them.
It was a great show because it was a last minute thing because Sam Molina and his girl couldn't go, so he threw me their tickets, and yeah, I'm glad I went because I mean I haven't seen Sacred Reich. The last time I saw Sacred Reich was at the. I don't know if I guess it was the Masquerade. I can't tell. I can't remember if it was the Ritz or Masquerade. I'm going to assume it was the Masquerade. I want to say it was probably the Masquerade. And that was on the Heel record, I think, because that was later on. But yeah, they were great. And obviously Municipal Waste always are very high energy. If you've ever seen them, they're pretty high.
They just did that. What bat was it? It was Municipal Waste actually, because we had Ryan Waste on this show a couple months ago. But they actually toured with. They did the Kerry King tour.
They did.
They just wrapped up. I know they did Janice with that and stuff.
Yeah, I wish I would have went to that show. I planned on it, but there was so many things going on that week, and it was just like Yeah, it was just too much, man. I mean, to go to Janice Landing on a Monday or Tuesday is, first of all, the weekend's one thing in downtown St. Pete, but people work down there. And when you go down there and try to find a parking space at 5 o'clock during the week.
The parking sucks, man. I used to work down there for many years.
Anyway, but during the week, it's like you have to park blocks and blocks away, man.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about the place that we, the Billheimer Theater, or I always get mixed up because I think the amphitheater, but it just, there's free parking in downtown Clearwater. Like, unless you want to park directly across the street and literally walk across the street to the venue, it's maybe a couple blocks and it's free. And
yeah, it's definitely St. Pete's a madhouse. It's definitely a madhouse.
Yeah, that's insanity.
Yeah, it's definitely especially by Janice,
Well, even the amphitheater, if you leave when everybody leaves.
Oh, you're not getting out of there for like an extra fucking hour. Yeah.
I remember trying to leave for fucking graduation, and I was ready to murder.
Not you.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess let's get the guys from Phantom on. We'll get them set up. Is there anything else you want to mention? We'll come back at the end and say goodbye to everybody after we say goodbye to the guys from Phantom after we talk to them for a bit. Anything else, Ed, you want to add right now?
Nothing that I can think of.
There you go. So let's get the guys from Phantom set up. We're going to play a track from the 2024 EP. We're going to play From the Abyss from Phantom, and then we'll be back on and we'll talk to those guys. We'll be back on the Tampa Morgue after this track From the Abyss from Phantom. That was Phantom with From the Abyss from the 2024 EP, Transylvania Nightmare. And what's up, guys?
Hey,
Hello,
how's
man.
it going?
What's up, dude? I feel like we just interviewed you guys. We hung out for basically about 40 minutes trying to get this fucking show started.
Yeah,
But
sorry for the
no,
inconvenience,
dude, it's totally
technical
cool,
issues.
man. No, we appreciate you guys coming on, man. It's like I was telling JC before the show, I said, man, I didn't even I was listening, I heard you guys. I didn't know you guys had a bunch of shit going on either. And I started looking into the band and man, I saw you guys have a new record coming out. So I'm glad to get you guys coming on. We appreciate you joining us on the Tampa Morgue. And you guys, yeah, introduce yourselves first.
Well, I'm J.C. García. I'm vocals and guitars in Phantom.
And
I'm 19, and we are from Mexico.
yeah, I'm Raír Tavizón. Pretty weird name for the rest of the world and for Mexico. I'm the bassist of Phantom, and yeah,
Cool, man. We're glad to have you guys. And so you guys are you guys both born in the same town, same city?
yes,
Yep.
well, I think so.
Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico.
Nice, man. And,
Yes,
well, back in the
born and
70s
raised.
and 80s, right? You guys had there was like a big rock scene there, wasn't there? A metal scene?
Yeah, there was like a lot of um psychedelic and like old 70s rock type shit. There was a lot going on.
Nice.
Yeah, there's
And
also
you guys both surrounded by music a lot growing up? Because I know JC, you were grew up around rock music, right? And all that from a young age. But is that both of you guys had that same situation?
I mean, I'm not from the like a very like a music background. My mom likes rock, like the classical Latin American rock, so the stereo, Charlie Garcia, and all that. But I'm like one of the pretty few musicians in like the whole family. Like I don't consider myself a musician, but I'm playing the bass, so maybe I am. And but yeah, I mean, I think everything I know about music and the music I like comes from my own discovery.
Nice. Nice. And you guys remember the first piece of music that you remember hearing as kids that kind of caught your attention?
Oh shit. Not my, well, maybe like child songs from when I was a baby, but like when I actually started getting into music by myself, like Soda Stereo and classic Latin American rock and metal, I think metal and punk type shit. I started with the Misfits, which is like, yeah,
Yeah, I
very
like
basic.
growing up when I was a little kid. I used to hate music because all I heard was the music in the radio. It was like corny ballads and that's it. So I hated that kind of music, and I thought that was the only type of music that there was. But then growing up, a cousin of mine showed me like hardcore and all those things, and and then I got like a little bit into metal because of a game called Brutal Legend. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
So, but like later in my life, I discovered a band from Uruguay which is called Quarteto de Nos, and I started like really digging into music from that point.
Nice. Do you guys remember the first records you guys ever had? Each of you?
Metallica, Kill 'Em All.
Nice.
Like the physical copy.
Yeah, physical copy.
Yeah, that's like I mean, you can call me a poser, but I got it right here. Let me check. Yeah, this is not. Well, it was. That's the spirit from Bring Me the Horizon.
You go. Hey, everyone starts somewhere, man. It's all good. And what was the first show you each attended?
Mine was Deep Purple in like 2017 or 2016 with my dad and my uncle.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember my first show. My parents used to take me like to a lot of places. Maybe they didn't like the music, but they wanted me to like have some culture. And there used to be like a lot of free festivals in the city. There was one called 212, and I think that was my first like approach to live music in a big stage.
Nice. And JC, when did you first pick up a guitar?
Well, when I was like 5 years old, I used to play my dad's guitar, so just joking around and shit. But when I started learning was like back in my first year of middle school in 2017.
Nice. And what was your first actual guitar you got? Was it a hand-me-down from your dad?
Oh shit, I got it back there in a case, but it's a Jackson Soloist, and from then on, I started getting like uh, only Jacksons and maybe one or two BC Riches around here. But yeah, I started with Jacksons, and I have stuck with those since the beginning.
Nice. Was your first? How about you, Raír? Was your first instrument a bass?
No, it was a guitar actually. It was a Squier Strat. Well, my first electrical guitar was a Squier Strat, and then
Are you guys self-taught?
oh yes,
I'm mostly art
mostly
because I had like school lessons, but they fucking sucked ass, and they didn't teach me what I wanted, so I started by myself.
yeah, it's the same case for me.
Were you guys like jamming? So like JC, were you jamming like for hours every day? Like it was something that you got addicted to right away, like right off the
I
bat?
started with my favorite band of all time, which is Soda Stereo. I used to play a lot of songs from them. Then I went to like when I started playing metal, I started with like Megadeth, and then I like to play Misfit songs because I was into the Misfits, Exodus, um, shit like that. Witchfinder General too, because I discovered that band really early on, and I like to play free country. And I remember when I started Phantom, that was one of the first songs we wanted to cover, Free Country by Witchfinder General, and it was fun. We never ended up doing it, but we tried.
Nice. And when did you start getting into like the heavier, like the Dark Angels, the Venoms, the Creators, and Razors and stuff like that?
Pretty much when I started hanging out with like online with a lot of people from the I don't know how if I can name it a scene, but yeah, friends from Canada and other places of the world, and they started getting me more into deeper shit, and that's when it exploded.
Nice. You guys are punk fans also?
A bit.
Yeah, like
I think
not
Raír is
super.
more into punk than metal. But I don't know. I'm more into like old shit like GBH and Discharge and Verbal Abuse and shit like that. And I don't know, he's he's into a fucking ton of different types of music.
I mean,
So
I like music in
he's a
general.
funny guy. He's the funny guy in the band.
Nice. So when do you guys start like becoming regulars at shows? Like start going to? And how is how was the? You know, you guys are much younger than us. Obviously, you guys are what 19? Are you both 19?
I'm
I'm
23.
19. He's 23.
Okay. So when do you guys start going to like becoming regular at the metal shows and stuff like that? And how was the scene where you were at growing up?
Fuck,
Mm,
man. I started going with like my parents and well, my dad because he's into this type of music too. And then when I started going from my own was like a few years ago, like 2 or 3. And I went to see Destruction, Creator, Testament, um, etc., etc. And from then on, it's when I started going regularly to shows and shit.
I
And
think I
the scene,
started
I
with
don't know. No,
oh, sorry.
continue, Ray. I'll say
I
that
mean,
later.
I don't know like from before the metal scene, the local metal scene, because in high school I was like pretty much into hardcore and emo. So there was like a very healthy scene here in Guadalajara. Uh, Mad rock, emo, like Midwest, post rock, and all those things. So I used to attend to a lot of those shows, and I started like attending metal shows when I joined Phantom because I didn't know like the local scene.
Yeah, and what I was going to say about the scene here is that when I used to go to shows, I really didn't interact with anybody because I'm kind of shy and shit. So I just went and saw the show, most of it, and kicked people in the mouth. And then, yeah, I fucked off. But now with the band and shit, I've I've had to get along with more people from the scene here and shit, and well, get to know more of it.
How are the venues there for you guys?
There are like two venues, and that's it.
Yeah, at
I
least
mean,
two good ones.
they're decent, but like, I mean, it's kind of boring, like going to the same place every weekend. But I mean, at least we have something.
Yeah, we have our kind of Ruthie's Inn here, that it's called the Anexo Independencia.
Nice.
And there's a like a better place called Basement, and that's it.
Yep, that's about it.
And
At
JC,
least from the underground ones.
Yes.
and the interest to start a band. So what? So it started for you, JC, in like 2018. But like I know Phantom formed in 2021, but you were already interested in this back in 2018. And when did you kind of say to yourself, was it at a show where you're like, "This is what I want to do. Like this is something that I want to be part of"?
Well, I was in quarantine. We were doing absolutely nothing, so I started like collecting media and shit and getting even more deep into the rabbit hole and shit. And I said, this is what I want to do with my life. I like guitars. I like noise. I like to fuck things up, and I like to play fast music. So that's what I want to do. And I started with this, with like just sitting in my room doing drawings and shit and planning like Phantom is a band that was like kind of planned before it even became a thing, because I started with all these like ideas in my head and drafts and shit, but we never actually got to start rehearsing and that kind of shit until later on in the pandemic, like early 2022, late 2021, because of the restrictions and shit. And yeah, the first lineup was finally completed until like early 2022, and that's when we started rehearsing. And well, I had already been writing songs during the other time, during 2021, but rehearsing and shit until the next year.
And you guys when you first put together the band, so it's what, some school buddies, right, from middle school?
Yeah, it was my friend Gael who used to be on the drums. His cousin tried. We had a fair amount of auditions, but it was, well, three auditions for guitarist. But the first official other guitarist that joined was Arel, the current guitarist, which has been the member that has lasted the longest since the beginning, apart from me. And we also had another bassist before Raír, but he fucking sucks. I'm not gonna talk about him. He can fuck off.
There you go.
Yeah, I joined in February 2023, so it's been 2 years since I joined. I didn't know what to expect.
Nice. And you guys knew, like, when you formed that band in 2021, you knew, JC, like the sound you wanted already,
Yeah,
like the old
already.
thrash
Like
speed thing.
all thrash, speed, heavy metal, and death thrash all mixed together. No, I don't care if some death thrash songs come in and then you have a heavy metal song or something like that. I just wanted to do the old school and whatever I wanted during around those terms or genres.
And with the name, so and obviously you choose the name Phantom. Was that, like you said, it was planned? So was there an inspiration for that name? Because I know you're into comics and stuff too, right? And all that. Where did you kind of decide on the name Phantom?
Phantom of the Opera from Iron Maiden, and also I started watching Spawn, by Todd McFarlane, the series from the 90s, or I don't remember the year, but I was like very into that, and that's where the idea came from. It actually had another name before Phantom, which fucking sucked. We don't talk about it, but it was named Skull Crypt, and then we and then we changed it to Phantom because of I changed it because of Phantom of the Opera and all that shit.
Yeah, and obviously, especially early on, you're a very DIY band. You know, you draw on obviously a lot and stuff. And what did you start drawing actually?
I don't know. I'm not a pro artist, but I started drawing like since all my life, like when I was 6 years old, and I have always been that guy in the classroom who sits and starts drawing weird shit in the background. So since then, all my life.
well, with Phantom, you guys have, you obviously we know Eddie, we know all the Vic Rattlehead and all the mascots, and you guys have Wilbur, right? Which you drew.
Yep.
Can you explain the importance of him to the band and everything you guys do visual wise?
I think he ties together all the like concept of the band, and also like, okay, you can relate him to the name, you can relate him to like the whole topics we talk about, and also it gives a strong image that we want to push, and we have a resource there that we can use to, I don't know, make merch, make fucking cover arts and stuff, flyers, and have like this personality that represents the old school. And yeah, like you say, okay, it's very traditional that a lot of old bands have mascots, so we wanted to go in that way because it also represents what we want to show, that okay, we are old school, we are this, that, blah blah. Actually, Phantom also comes from that, because it's like we play old music. We are not really reinventing the wheel here. We want to play what I have loved from a fair amount of years of my life, and what I have a passion to. So we are like the phantom of that kind of spirit and shit.
Nice. And you guys early rehearsals, where you guys jamming at first when you guys first started the band?
We started at the drummer's house, and then we moved on to my house, and then we moved to the first rehearsal rooms, which were called El Avanzado, and they were run by this very hipster indie guy, which didn't know shit about metal. So we recorded the first demo there in like 40 minutes, and I hadn't even grabbed a microphone before, so it was like I only rehearsed the guitar parts, and that's the first time I tried to sing, so it fucking sucked.
You're
But
talking
from
about the
then
July,
on,
the Hellspeed Death demo, right? Part 1.
yeah. And then we moved on to this place where the whole scene, well, part of the scene rehearses, which is called Madhouse, and it's a place that kind of looks like your place right there, and it's owned by this punk band from here named Acidez. I don't know if you've heard of them. I think
Yes.
I don't know, they're kind of famous, but they have this place adapted, and it's like a studio and also a rehearsal rooms place. So we go then there most of the time because it has big marshals, and we can rehearse loudly and do all the noise we want.
And you mentioned the Hellspeed demo, that was like 4 songs on that, like it was 14 minutes. You guys did that, and then so lyric wise, early on, you're handling the lyrics, right? What's inspiring you lyric wise? Are you like into the horror or the sci-fi or history? What's your deal early on?
I'm really into like various layer type shit lyrics, like all death and destruction and monsters like from hell and shit like that. And also some horror, like I don't know, I like a lot of Evil Dead, and well, comics and history too. Lately, I've always been a history fan, and in this latest album, Tyrants Of Wrath, I tried to also get a bit of that into it with a song named Lost in the Sands, which talks about Roman Egypt and some motherfucker lost in the sands.
And were you writing all the music back then on the first demo?
Yep, I've always been the guy that writes most of the riffs and lyrics.
Right.
You guys put out also what? You guys put out a 2-song demo too, the Onslaught Speedhammer demo after that in 2022. And then you guys, so what? Then I know you guys did the Hellspeed, the Death demo, the version 2, which had more songs on it. I think it had 3 extra songs on it, I believe. What was
Yeah,
so when you guys did that? What was you just wanted to add to the first one? You weren't satisfied with the first one you guys did?
it actually gets a lot of confusion there, because everyone says like, "Oh, we did 4 demos," but it's one demo we recorded at like that fucking shithole place. But we tried to release it as a single, so the people said, "Oh, it's the unplugged demo and then the Hellspeed Dead," but it's in reality the same recording, just released with 2 songs and then the full thing. But in reality, we just count it as one demo, which was the Hellspeed Dead. And yeah, man, we came into this little studio, and it was all recorded live. Like I said, the place didn't really have an appropriate setting to play metal. Like it had very shitty amps and for playing indie rock and shit like that. So it sounds old, which I don't know. It also gives that old sound, which is okay. People maybe liked it because of that. I don't know why
but it
people
kind of
like that shit.
sounds like ass.
It sounds like
It sounds
ass.
bad.
I love listening to band demos, but I think that demo was fucking ass. And
We cringe from it. We can hear that.
yeah, I can't listen to it, man.
Nice. You guys' first show ever is that? So is this 2022 September 23rd at the Philly Fritz Club? Is that the first gig you guys played?
Yes, it
I
was.
mean, technically it
It
was.
was pretty good actually. Raír wasn't there yet. He wasn't born yet. But the place was packed. So the owner of the place is this really funky looking bar guy with the classic like ponytail with a shit ton of gel. He goes, like he saw us a bunch of teenagers, and he said, "Oh, you gotta if you want to play here, you gotta introduce like 300 people or something like that." So we rehearsed all summer and we spread flyers like crazy to get the most of people we could into that fucking shithole. And yeah, of course, it isn't even a recognized venue or something. It's just what we knew at the time at our city, a hellhole bar. So we went there and it went great. We packed the place and we played like the whole Hellfit demo and people liked it. And from then on, we started playing gigs.
Was that your first time? So I know you were in music school. You did some music classes and stuff. Was that your actual first time personally, like performing in front of somebody?
Yes, it
Nice.
was.
Any nerves, or was it pretty easy for you to hop up
Oh
there and do
shit,
it?
man. I was dying because like I mentioned before, I used to be like a really shy guy and shit. So the first time doing that was like I don't know, it was huge for me, and it took a lot of um preparing myself mentally for that. Although it was like a fucking bar gig, but for me it was like oh shit. And when I looked and saw that mass of people there, I was like, damn, they actually came. I expected like 15 people, and we ended up with like 300 in our first gig. So it was like, yeah.
And you got like one cool thing with your guys' band too, and I wonder how important it is to you. Like you guys have a look, like you guys have that old school look. Like, obviously with from the jackets, just to everything. If you look at the band, it definitely has that vibe to it. How important is that also to Phantom in general?
I mean, I
Uh,
think it's like a pretty big thing for us. It's like one of the things that got has got us here, like having this image. Like,
I don't know. I think maybe in the flyers and shit, and well, maybe how I dress and shit, but I never personally took it as very much of a necessary thing. Fuck you, I, fuck it. I focus more on the music and shit. And well, okay, it's important because I don't know if you go and see a band, you want to see a band that looks like what they are playing, right? But no, I don't know. It's not that huge.
I personally, I think
Aspect.
it's more important that a lot of people think, because we have like a personal, like something that identifies us as like, oh, they're Phantom. Their flyers look like this. Their covers, their our cover art look like this. And so yeah, I think it's pretty important to have like a visual identity for the band. And
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
At least with Wilbur and the mascot and all that shit, I think it's important.
yeah,
I think JC, I heard you. I was watching some, promo stuff for you guys that you guys did for the new record and stuff. And I noticed, I think it might have been an old interview I'd read with you even, where you had said that you guys kind of back at that time period, say 2022, when you're playing that first show and stuff like that, you guys are kind of learning as you go, right? Like you kind of just
Yeah,
learning
man.
that the whole process as you're going along.
Absolutely, we are. We started knowing nothing about the scene and how to play live and shit like that, and we've been learning on the making of this. Even
we
how we
still
made the first demo and record.
have a lot to learn, but I think we've come pretty far in like short time, so it's been a good time.
And you guys' second show, right? You guys played. Is this true? You guys played in front of like 700 people on your second gig.
It was a battle of the bands in one of the big venues here, so it was packed, and it was really good for us because it gave us a lot of exposure. But yeah, it was very, very, very important. And yeah, like 700 people, then 50, 100, I don't know, something like that.
Nice. You guys go through your first member change in 2023, which obviously, I'll say your name, but Rare comes into the band, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, what you guys were friends from school?
No, that was it's pretty weird. That story is freaking weird. I don't know. It's like I just got a message from a random on Instagram, like saying, "Do you want to audition for a metal band?" And I used to play covers in a covers band. I used to play in bars and all that shit. And I just quit the other band, and like having another offer, I was like a little hesitant. I had school and I have work, so it was like difficult for me. But I said like fuck it, and I told J.C. like I don't I don't really know how to play metal, and he said, "Oh, it's okay, just learn Seek and Destroy, and and we will audition you." And I went to the audition, and it was only JC, and then Arel like came by like an hour after, and JC just like, "Yeah, you play better than the
Than the other
other."
motherfucker, so come, whatever.
And I said like, "Okay, if you," like, I told him like, "Are you sure like you don't want to audition more people?" And he said like, "Fuck it, like let's do this." And I said like, "Okay." And so yeah, I think it was a pretty good decision to take that audition.
Ah,
Nice. So
no.
you were on the was your first release with them? You guys did. I know earlier you mentioned JC about your with the Canadian thing. So you guys did a split, right? Was it a five-way split with bands from Edmonton, Quebec? You guys did Malicious Intent, Kill
Yep.
Witch and stuff like that. How did that all come apart?
Well, they are the guys that got me into more underground shit. So I started talking more with them and shit, and became friends. And then we decided to give it a go, and we did that tape compilation, which was like very. It was more of a demo thing because I think the only actual studio song from that is the Kill Witch song, and apart from that, all of the other bands we only did like demos for that.
Yeah, I think Which was releasing their first album from in that period.
They
So
haven't. They only released like two songs, and they haven't yet. I don't know what's of them right
oh,
now, but yeah.
I thought there
So
were
you guys
two
put
of them.
out that split, which was the five-way, and then you guys had another drum. Well, you changed drummers, right? And then JP enters the band.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
And he was a bass player at first in a band called Altars of Madness.
Yep. He was.
Yes, that's true.
Nice. So, and how
But
did you know JP?
Uh,
that was her like
yeah. Arel met him at the university when he was walking up an alley, and he saw him with a Cannibal Corpse shirt, I think.
Gojira. It was a Gojira shirt.
Gojira, or I don't know what band, but they started talking about it, and from then on, they started talking about instruments, and then he learned he was a drum player and a bass player. And when at that time we still had Gael in the band, but the guy really like it was during the recordings of Handed to Execution, and he started like lacking the motivation, and he wanted to go more into pursuing his career as a video game designer and shit. So I'm still friends with him, and we ended up in good terms. But yeah, it was time to go. The last gig we played with him was disastrous. He just wasn't, the energy wasn't there at all. So we said, damn man, we can continue like this. And we hit up
Yeah,
JP,
he
and
agreed with that, with those terms. Like he had recognized that he didn't have like the motivation, and he wanted like he was in college and he wanted to pursue that. So it's okay.
And you guys have
Yeah.
chemistry. So when you guys got JP, you guys all the the lineup, which is now still today, was your chemistry right away?
I think
Yeah,
yes.
man, we had instant chemistry because he's pretty similar to us in like the way we are, and also he's into. I think up up. Sorry, he has like the most similar music taste to me in the band, apart from RL, because he has been into this kind of music since a lot of time ago. Because he's like the oldest guy in the band. He has like 24, and he saw Motorhead live. That's like, oh shit, man! I wish I could have done that before.
Me and Ed saw Motorhead probably 3 weeks before I want to say Lemmy passed. That was the last time we saw him. We've seen
Damn.
him a few
Damn,
times. We're
man.
a little older, so we've seen him a bunch of times. But yeah. So definitely, definitely killer though. But did you have most of the so? When you guys when you have this new lineup, did you have most of Handed to the Execution written already? That
Oh
It
yeah.
was
record?
already recorded. It was done. We needed a drummer because we were gonna start preparing for the presentation show, which was going to happen in January of 2024.
4.
So we got into turbo mode and we hired JP and he liked the band. And well, it was like an instant change because this motherfucker plays like he's a fucking clock.
But he never
So
played metal drums
he
before.
had never
Or
played metal drums before, but at the first audition he nailed it and it was
nice.
very good. It was very, very good.
And you guys, so that full length, that first full length you guys did, you guys put that out on Inframetal Records. How did you guys get involved with that label?
It wasn't really like signing kind of thing because it was more like a hey, wanna release you this? So we said, oh, okay, and they made it. So I think the Metallum guys put it like, oh, it's a release with this label, but we released it like with I don't know,
With them
maybe
from
four
metal, with
labels.
Head Split, with
Yeah, with a lot of
Dementia.
labels at the same time. Because at the time we didn't really want to go into the compromise of signing with someone, so we wanted to do a more a DIY approach and just release copies with different labels, so to don't be attached to anything yet.
and
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 it ended up pretty good.
and it was like they approached us, and it was like a deal that where everybody wins. They make the free CDs for us, free cassettes, and that they send us a part, they keep a part, we
And
own
they end up promoting it, so it's convenient
it.
for us.
Now, are you guys like so? Is Phantom like right away when you guys start? Say 2023 when this comes out, are you guys already starting to get attention around the local area? Like, from are you guys becoming like the name of the Phantom starting to pass around in the scene?
Yeah, I think we when we started climbing up the ladder was in like 2023 when we started playing in more shows frequently and around our city. And then with the release of the first record, it's when we started actually seeing more international attention and people getting into the band and shit. And fast forward, a year later with the release of the EP, we reached even further. So yeah, it's been a whole long process, but we're doing it faster than a lot of bands, and that's something that even I don't believe in. It's like, damn, what the fuck?
Well, you guys do Headed to Execution. That's the first time you worked with Hector Northern.
Yeah,
Um,
Yes,
who he was also played with Demonic Being, right?
and
And yeah,
yep,
so that's so.
black
How'd you
metal.
guys get in touch with him, and how did that relationship start?
I started looking for studios to record the first
the
album.
first single and first album.
Album. We wanted to make an album right away, but the first single, and we searched around in the city, and we asked in Madhouse, which is like the place we rehearse. But we figured out that place really didn't have the sound we want because all the Madhouse bands sound the same. All the bands that record in Madhouse end up sounding with a very characteristic sound, which I'm not personally a fan of. And then we also saw in other places, but it was fucking super expensive. And then I found this Facebook page called Nithron Studios, where I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna hit them up and ask what's required or how does it work. And that's when I started talking to Hector, who manages this studio like all on his own, and it's not really a studio like a physical place. It's more like a service.
He's the
He
studio.
comes and we made a little home studio here, and he comes, he records, and he mixes and does his magic.
Yeah, he has taught us a lot about like the production, recording, moving in the scene or moving like in the industry. He used to play back in his hometown in Matamoros, which is near to Texas. So he used to tour like the United States when he was younger and all that. So yeah, he's been like a mentor also for us
Yeah.
in some ways.
We're gonna play one of the songs off of that. We're gonna actually play "Hand It to Execution" here in a minute. But I was noticing. So JC, you did the art for that single.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So I totally see the Slayer haunting text blood on that, right? Is that totally like if you look at the blood on that single artwork, was that definitely inspired by some Slayer?
Live Undead.
Is that, yeah, I noticed that right away. But we're gonna play that. We're gonna play "Headed to Execution" from Phantom from 2023, and we'll be back with the guys from Phantom after this song on the Tampa Morgue.
after phantoms. Phantoms that they've invented when there's nothing there.
So 2024, you guys play your first big festival gig, a metal fest. I don't want to say the name of it wrong, but was it Candelabrum?
Yeah, Candelabrum.
Nice. How'd you guys get onto that?
We were at Querétaro. We were gonna open the show for Rotting Christ there, and we received a message like out of nowhere, just inviting us, like, "Hey, do you want to play at this festival?" And we immediately said yes, because it's an up and coming festival from here, but it's been getting a lot of attention recently because it's like the best one out there right now here in Mexico, because there's a lot of shady shit going on with the metal festival industry here, with promoters and weird stuff. So,
and they're like the only ones that don't steal money, and
yeah.
and they like do a decent job.
Well, you guys were on there was another festival. I was going to ask you about that in a little bit. There was a festival canceled last year there, right? Where you guys wound up playing with you guys wound up playing a show that everyone who had a ticket for it got to go to. I think you guys played with like
Yes.
Chrisian and them. Was
Napalm
Chrisian,
Death.
Napalm Death, right? Cataclysm, Lucifer, Blood Red Throne, I think was some of the bands on the bill.
Yep.
Was that so? What happened? I was going to ask you what happened to that festival last year.
It's pretty shady, actually. We don't really know.
Yeah.
We are not like sure, but it was being organized by like two promoters, which one is Chamuco, like the one that contacted us,
That booked us.
and the other one, yes, and the other one is
they are the shady one, which is named Life Talent or something like that. I'm not really sure, but basically these two promoters were organizing this shit, and they were gonna bring King Diamond and KK Priest to the fest and a ton of other bands. And well, Chamuco, one of the promoters, did everything cleanly, and from what I know, he did everything cleanly. He treated us well. We arrived and everything was fine. I mean, we went because of that. Other way we would have canceled, but the other guys are the ones that are like weird, and they stole all the money, or they couldn't pay the artist, or I don't know what the fuck happened, but it was a complete disaster.
Yeah, they played all the bands. All the bands were like pretty fucking
Ripped
rude.
off.
Yeah, it happens too often. And going back to that festival you guys played in 2024, the Candelabrum. So J.C., you also played guitar for the German thrash band Cruel Force on that show?
Yep. Yeah, man, that was pretty fun. That was cool. They called me like on the festival was going to happen on Saturday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, and I woke up on Thursday to go to school like normally, and I got a message from Carnivore, which is the vocalist from Cruel Force. He was like, "Hey, we need help with a guitar player for our show in Mexico." Kevin, or also how the fans may know it, Slaughter, couldn't enter the country because of some legal problems. So, are you in? And yeah, I obviously said yes because I'm a big fan of Cruel Force. I love that band. It's pretty sick. And I learned the songs in one day because the next day I had to get on the road to go to the other state for the festival. So I had one day all in my room just practicing the songs for that, and we miraculously saved that shit somehow. Also with the help of Cheeto and Moy from the band Hard Rocker, and Cheeto from Ashnasburg, I think it's called. We got into our rehearsal room when we arrived instead of to the hotel, and we stayed up late at night practicing all the songs with Cruel Force. And well, it came out well. At the end of the day, we did the best that we could, and we became good friends. We had a good time at the festival, watching all the bands and drinking beer and buying chicken sandwiches.
Nice. And you guys put out, it's what, 2024, you guys put out the EP to Transylvanian Nightmare. And so you guys did that. Is that the first time so JC, on that, the artwork for that, is that the first time you used an outside artist?
Yep, that's the first time we hired another guy, this Chilean artist called Sebastián Frigueiro, who makes like old school pulp art, like looks from like the 60s or 70s. So I like that a lot. And for the whole concept of this EP, which was I love the old school Castlevania games, and since the beginning of Phantom, that's one of the topics that has inspired me because they are games that I had played since when I was like a child. So the whole concept of this EP was gonna be only like vampires and shit like that. We had also talked about shit like that in the first record, but in this one we wanted to make an emphasis on that. And yeah, the art came out pretty great. And I have the original painting in my house. It's down in the studio. I need to look for it, but that guy is awesome.
Nice. And you guys did a video too for that off that EP.
Yes.
Yeah.
We laugh at that video because I got a lot of hate from that video, and we don't know why.
We
You
don't
guys
know
did a
why.
couple videos prior to that too. You guys did off of the 2023 release. You guys did what, 3 videos for that?
I think
I think so.
It's all
Yeah.
live videos though, right?
like
We
100,
recorded
Hold Fast, 100,
Hold Fast
Hold
and
Fast,
Winds of Havoc.
and Winds of Havoc.
Yeah, the Handed Execution one was recorded at Raír's second show with the band in some bar.
The first and the second.
Yeah, the first and the second gig with Raír, and then the Hold Fast video was recorded at the second time we played at that C3 stage where the second show we had happened. But we played another time in like June or July of 2023.
I think that was
Uh,
our last gig from that year.
Yeah, and then we played at the presentation show of the album in January, and that was like the latest video, the Winds of Havoc one, which we actually don't. I don't know. I don't like it a lot personally, but yeah, we did that. And then for Transylvanian Nightmare, we did this. I had this idea of making like a super DIY video, like the Candlemass ones from Bewitched and shit. And because I love shitty videos that look like they were made in one day, and we recorded that in like one day actually.
All the videos.
Who'd you guys have in the Wilbur costume?
Right.
I think in that video was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like switch we how do you say this?
Sometimes it is J.C., sometimes it's me, and sometimes there is another guy called Paulo,
Paulo, who helps us out.
Nice. And you guys with that Transylvania Nightmare, you guys did that again with Hector in his studio. And you also, so like videos, is that really important to you? Like, you guys have done, I know you guys have a new one actually coming out. People are going to be listening to this today. You guys have a video coming out today, actually, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But how important is that for you guys too to do the videos? Because you guys have a handful of videos online.
I think it's like pretty fun. We made those most out of fun than anything else because they, of course, they help their release and shit, but we mostly do them because they are funny to make and we like to, I don't know, have
it's
fun.
like just putting up the camera and fool around with your friends.
Yeah. And like, okay, we are working on a more, I don't know, I can't call it serious video, but a more pro video for another one of the singles for this new album. But the rest of the videos, we just said, okay, we didn't have a lot of budget. This is gonna be fun. Let's go to the fucking park and the forest and record a bunch of VHS shit.
Yeah, you guys had that VHS effect going on totally, and especially even what you guys did the behind the scenes of making the album. I saw you guys put out, and it was like total VHS 1980 style.
Yeah.
You guys, so I definitely see that with the band. And when you're dealing with outside artists, like we were talking about, you deal with the Chilean artist on this one. Do you like give them lyrics, or do you how do you tell them what you want?
I give them references from like I like a lot of old fantasy art from like Frank Frazetta and shit like that, or Castlevania I'm obsessed with Castlevania. Most of the band is based on Castlevania, so a lot of that, and also my drawings. I send them like drafts and shit from what I have in mind, and from then they do their magic, and they perfectly have done it to this day.
Nice. You guys did your first instrumental on that too, right? You guys did Epitaph.
Yep.
Yes. You guys put out the compilation also with that too. Obviously, you guys put out it had what Handed to Execution and the Transylvania Nightmare on it, and that was Head Split Records out of Portland, Oregon, that put that out.
Yep.
And that brings us to today. Obviously, you guys. Well, your album's not coming out for a little bit, but you guys, obviously started working on material. When did you start working on the material for Tyrants? Like, when did you start writing that?
I think like, I mean,
Early.
we're always writing, so it
Yeah, we're always writing. So after we finished recording Transylvania Nightmare, I immediately started working on the next few songs. I think the first one I made was Nazgul, which is one that's gonna come out until the album is out. Then Dance of the Spiders. Yeah, we spent the whole year rehearsing and writing new songs during our rehearsals and playing the usual set list and shit for practice, but also including the new songs.
What was the actual first Phantom song ever written?
It's named there were two. One is named Phantom, and then
you guys had that. What, you guys only released that on one release?
Yeah, and that song we mixed it with another one from the demo named Death Crusade, and Hold Fast was born. So I'd say Hold Fast if you want to consider that one, but it was named Phantom on the demo. It was the first riff I wrote for the band. And then also Onslaught, and then the Winds of Havoc riff, the intro, that shit.
We used to call it military intro.
The military intro because it had like the kind of drum, so we name it like that.
And how about the title of the record, the new record that's coming out, Tyrants of Wrath? What's the story behind that?
I was drawing. I was making drawings here, and I was like, how am I gonna name the next record? And I started think about again Castlevania, and I remember this. I was playing the Castlevania 3, and I liked a lot how the Dracula at the end has like three shapes, and I was like, oh, the Empire Tyrants and some shit like that. And I started playing with words in a paper, and I remembered that that piece of the game, and I was like, and I started mixing the ideas, and that name came out. It was like very out of nowhere, but I liked it, and I liked how it sounds, so I went for it.
You guys also did, so that one again, you guys work with Hector, and but you also sent it out, so you got it mastered from Patrick Engel at the German Temple of Disharmony.
Yes.
Yep. The label originally it was mixed and mastered by Hector, but the label didn't really like Hector's mastering, so they ended up hiring Patrick from Temple of Disharmony, and it was holy shit. This dude has reworked albums for like I've seen
Destroyer
Dissection,
666,
Candlemass, Destroyer 666,
Dark Throne, Napalm
and
Death,
Vulture. Yeah,
Acid.
a ton of bands, man. It's insane. So I was like, holy shit, yeah, go ahead, man.
He also plays with Hate Spawn too. And so also let's talk about High Roller Records. How'd you get involved with them?
They reached out.
Emails. We received an email from them saying that they heard the last EP and they loved it and shit. So they wanted us to work out something, and they sent us an offer, and we liked it a lot, so we took it. It was
So are you going to tell your family? Like, what is your family saying? Like when you're like, because you guys have moved pretty fast. Like it's gone pretty fast for you dudes. Like you said, you go from playing one show, the next show you're playing in front of 700 to 1,200 people. It's like, are you guys surprised by this at first? Is it like, because High Roller Records, man, we actually have had a couple of their bands on here. It's a damn good label. So, what are you thinking when this is happening, when you get this email from them?
To be honest, I still have trouble processing it because it's like holy shit, man. How
and
I don't know.
and like as you said, it's like pretty fast. With at first you don't even uh, get it. Like you are going so fast that you don't even know that you are doing this, and when you stop to think about it, it's like holy shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude,
this
think about
was.
that. Like JC sends you a message on Instagram, you're just chilling, and he's like, "Hey, you want to be in a band?" The next thing you know,
I'm
you're going to
touring
be on a
Europe.
European tour. You know, it's like,
Yeah, so it's like pretty. It's like mind blowing, really. Like this was my dream in middle school. So like coming to like a true thing now in the future is like pretty awesome. But yeah,
uh, you guys do 11 tracks on this new one that's coming out. And you again, cover art was done by what Megan
Mainly
LeMay.
May, yeah. Yeah, awesome
from
artist, man.
Boston. Is she from
Insane.
Boston? I think.
I think
Yeah, from
she's from
Massachusetts,
Boston.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, she is a tattoo artist, but she also does like this airbrush and very old school art. And damn, man, it's perfect for what we want to do.
No, the artwork's killer too. That the artwork is definitely killer for the new record.
Yeah, she's
Um,
awesome.
and you guys also
Total
like,
tribute.
yeah,
So like Heavy Load and Endless Pain from Creator and shit like that. We wanted to bring that like nostalgia factor there, that tribute.
you also wanted to have a perfect mix too, right? You want to have the thrash, the traditional, the speed, and some black metal in there. Like that was your idea, right? Was to get everything like because now that you guys like obviously like this is like your first out. Everyone's writing together on this record, right? I know JC, you write most of the stuff, but on this record, is this the first Phantom record where everyone has their hands in the pot more?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
like everyone
And yeah, we
contributes.
wanted to bring to the table like, okay, I like Heavy Load and Gotham City and shit like that. So here goes Nimbus. That it's a song that sounds like Iron Maiden mixed with Swedish heavy metal from the early '80s. Then okay, I like Merciless and I like Morbid. So here's Nazgul, which sounds like that. Then you have some more speed thrash type shit. Like it's a mixture of everything we like really. And we try
Yeah,
not to close into just one genre, one
general.
subgenre. So we try to make a mix of all of this shit.
Is this the most melodic album so far for you guys? You think?
I think it is.
Maybe.
You could call it like the lightest in some way, in some other ways.
Nah, I don't know. Like, well, some parts of it go like you're listening to this very fast part, and then it goes to like classic heavy
Yeah,
metal.
like
So yeah,
chilling.
maybe you can call it like that.
And like I said, I saw some of the making of the record you guys did, and it was kind of funny. You guys had, which I'm sure that's a dog. Maybe we hear in the background now, but you guys had some like, some distractions, right, when you're trying to record.
My dogs, man, they should have gone and recorded vocals. They were like all the time. They wouldn't shut the fuck up. And it was pretty funny because we spent hours trying to record that. Like we recorded here down in my little home studio, and we mounted the drums however we could. There, we had like a stack of guitars here. It was a mess of cables and shit, but we managed to pull it out somehow, and it came out pretty well.
Wouldn't you guys take like 3 days to do JP's drums?
I
Uh,
I think it was three, and we have to re-record another song.
yeah,
You like four? I was like
4 days,
three.
I'd say.
And going into this record, you guys had like you guys really majorly rehearsed before you guys did it too, right? You guys to make sure everything was like because I think I have heard you say JC that you really want to have a clean sound on the record. So were you guys like how much rehearsals are you guys doing before you guys actually start recording?
Like twice a week, maybe once a week. But we were like constantly rehearsing all the songs in the order and backwards, and until everyone had it nailed it down to the point. Especially because of JP, because we had a lot of trouble with the Transylvanian Nightmare ones. We tried to record the fucking drums with another guy that didn't really know how to do that, and it kind of sucked ass. So
He was recording drums with Sony Vegas. Like what the fuck?
yeah, man.
And on the new record, you guys use no metronome, right?
Nope.
Yeah, we don't use metronome.
We only use like okay, um, we connected like headphones to JP and shit, and we played the song like if we were rehearsing, and he was recording, like playing and record. We were recording the drums, and then we recorded the guitars, the bass, and vocals, and etc. On top of the like following the drum parts.
And our like demo parts that were recorded along the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first record you guys also have piano and synths on it, right? You got one of your buddies, Emilio, on here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like like this kind of modern power metal thing where
It's not Jump from Van Halen.
It's more like it's more like I like a lot Sabbath from Japan, and I like a lot how they do like these kind of intros and middle shit with pianos that sound very creepy, and it reminds me also of Castlevania because as you can tell, I'm obsessed with that shit. And that's we made an intro on a song in the middle of the album, which is fully just pianos because I wanted to go for something like that. But nothing mixed with like corny vocals or shit like that.
And you guys did like, one thing I thought was cool from what I saw, you again to the DIY thing, you guys were doing your own effects in there, your own sound effects too, right? I saw so you had like what was it, a knife and a stone you were sharpening or you're recording and what was some of the shit you were doing in there? Because you had some stuff going on.
It was like it's some house decoration that is in the middle of the table in my house, and it's like a pan.
It sounds like the bell from Return of the Living Dead, dude. It's like doing.
It sounds like a bell. So we started to improvise a drumstick with like cotton to make it sound properly, and grab it like the finger, like ding, 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 a gong type thing there. Also like the knives and other stuff. It was pretty fun.
I saw you guys. And is the new album going to be the same kind of lyrical thing as the past material you guys released?
I think we introspected more for this album, or they are more
like
thought lyrics because back then we were okay, fucking Slayer, let's go for it, and now it's more like okay, we want to write about this and that. I made it that heavy metal song, Nimbus. I wrote. It's dedicated to my grandpa who passed away, and he wanted me to name a song like that, so I went for it and finally did it. And also RL he's a lot into Game of Thrones and stuff like that, so we wrote about some dragon. Dance of the Spiders is more another Castlevania things. A lot of Castlevania inspiration again, and
Now, you mentioned your grandfather. Your family, are they coming out to the shows and stuff? And I know your dad. You said your dad played and stuff. Or is it like, are they really into what you guys are doing?
Yeah, man. Fortunately,
they support us. Maybe they're not like super into metal and that, but they support us. That's the good thing. Indeed.
From my side, I can say like my other grandfather, the one that is still alive, he has been in the thick of it since like the 80s, and he was in the scene, and he had a huge collection of super rare records that he unfortunately had to get rid of because of money and shit. So he's super excited and shit to see me, like his grandson, doing this stuff and shit. So I feel good about that.
Yeah, even with me and the other members, like J.C. family is always like very warm with all the band about the project.
You guys got a lot of cool shit coming up. You guys, first of all, today, because people are hearing this will be out today. You guys have a video you guys are putting out today called Thunderbeast, and the song that we're going to play when we say goodbye to you guys tonight called Thunderbeast. What can you tell us about the video shoot, actually? Because I haven't actually seen the video yet, because it's coming out in a few hours.
Another super DIY video with the same idea of making some Candlemas type stuff, recorded in a park in one day and in my backyard. in the same park, but in a different area, so that it doesn't look the same as Transylvanian. And we had kind of, I don't know, in my mind, I tried to kind of make a very uh, destruction type thing, show no mercy thing there. And yeah, also mixed with like the Candlemass visuals and some 3P effects there. I don't
Yeah,
know,
some
it was
corny
fun to
shit.
make. We recorded it in one day because the label wanted it. That video was completely extra. Like the label said, it would be good if you guys make a video for Thunderbeast. So it's okay, let's do it.
Yeah, because originally there were going to be only two singles, and they suggested to put Thunderbeast out as well, so we made that.
So we recorded Thunderbeast in a park in the sunniest day of the year.
There you go. Well, yeah, we
Not
haven't
a
seen it
single
yet.
cloud.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be out today. Whoever's listening wants to go check it out. And you guys, so and again, you guys are doing your first European tour. So how is that when you get that information? Like I said, you guys only been going for a few years, and you guys are doing 20 plus dates. I know you guys are playing Keep It True in Germany in October. So how do you guys get on the tour, and how is that like kind of one of those holy shit moments?
Yeah, another holy shit moment for us. We had been talking about it and planning it for a while now, because we always get this come to Europe thing from a lot of places. And yeah, of course, we wanted to try and deliver that. So we are finally in like the place and time to give it a go and just go for
Yeah,
it.
we find this agency that other friends recommended to us, Beat Trick Agency.
Nice.
Another. So
Yeah,
they do all the work for us.
With High Roller Records, man, they must have really increased the.
JC, you have.
I think they must have really increased the basically what you guys can do in the studio on the new record and stuff too.
Yeah, so we got a higher budget, fortunately, like High Roller. With the offer of High Roller, we I mean, the main thing that we can make now is record real drums and not having like the programmed ones. So that was like a big step for us.
Nice. I mean, you guys got, like we were saying, you guys got till April 25th to put till the record comes out, man. You guys like probably just ready to get this thing out so people can hear it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
usually
man, we're
with the other
excited.
albums, like we finished recording and then upload the album like right away. So it's
It's
been
a
hard
longer
for us.
wait.
Is this the first
And yeah,
interview you
man,
guys have done like on a podcast? Have you guys been on anything like this before? Yeah, I know you guys did a few print interviews, but have you guys done a podcast or anything yet?
we
Yeah,
had,
with
but in
another.
Spanish. This is the first one we have ever done in English.
Okay.
So
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was telling Ed, I was like, man, we're a little so what like okay, so we'll do like Slayer wise. What's your favorite Slayer record? Because we go obviously we're all born in different years, but for you guys, what's
Show
your
No
favorite?
Mercy.
Show my screen.
Show
There you
No
go.
Mercy.
I think I'm not pretty much into Slayer, but I heard Raining Blood.
I'm gonna kill you.
JC's
How
gonna.
is it? How's it called? The Raining Blood.
Look, this guy is not really into metal, but I like him a lot as a person, so that's why he's in my band.
I mean,
man.
I,
Puts
I've gotten
the
more
Wilbur
into metal.
mask on you, man. He's got Ed, when's the first time you saw Slayer? We'll show the age right here.
Oh,
'Cause I saw him in
1980. It was South of Heaven. So it would have been
South of Heaven.
87,
Mother.
88. It was 87 or 88. Because then after that, it was Seasons in the Abyss. And then I've seen him every time afterwards.
Yeah, I saw him in Clash of the Titans of Seasons. It was like that's the first time I ever saw Slayer. It was Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, Public Enemy, believe it or
Holy
not,
shit,
and Alice in
man.
Chains at the Madison Square Garden. We're both me and Ed are both from New Jersey originally.
Okay.
So they played at Madison Square Garden, and actually Public Enemy was actually like was part of the show. But yeah, that was the Clash of the Titans, and for Anthrax that would have been Persistence of Time.
Correct.
Yeah, and then
That was Rust in Peace
Megadeth
for
was Rust in
Megadeth.
Peace. Yeah,
And then that was Seasons in the Abyss for
yep,
Slayer.
Seasons. Yep,
Man,
Yep.
yeah.
you
We're a
saw
little.
the
And now that was Alice in Chains, their first ever.
Yeah, that was Facelift. They were getting booed.
Facelift, yep.
So Alice in Chains is getting booed at the Garden, and then about
good.
I don't know, 2 months later, they're like the fucking biggest band on MTV, you know, with Man in a Box and stuff like that. It was a
Hell nah.
Crazy.
yeah. So I mean,
I
what
do
about
love
Venom?
Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
What?
What's your favorite Venom
Maybe
record?
loves
Welcome to Hell.
Venom.
You know.
Or At War with Satan. I like that one a lot.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
funny. We had Jeff on. He did not like that record. It was one he was not too happy with. Was that one? You know, I mean,
It has a
I
lot of
still
good
like
songs.
I still like Venom. I still like some of the records they did later on too. I mean, you know, and but yeah, so it's definitely, man. I got to say, guys, too, like when I was I was telling you guys probably before we started doing the show, when I first heard you guys, it was by mistake actually. And I was like, man, this is killer. I had no idea. Actually, I thought it was an older band. Like I didn't think it was, you
Damn.
know, from the
Well,
year. I was like, oh shit. So I started checking it out. And then I saw you guys had a new record coming out. And I was like, well, fuck it. I'll, you know, see about getting them on here. So I'm definitely, you know, glad we did, man. You guys, like I said, you guys have a really bright future ahead of you, man. You guys, you know, I've watched a lot of one thing you guys do is when I watch the live show footage and stuff that's online, you guys definitely capture that. Like it's very genuine. It looks like, you know, you guys can tell you love what you're doing. You know, it's, I mean, you know, like it's, there's a whole thing going on with the band that I think it's, you know, you guys are doing really well. You know, I mean, a lot of bands work their ass off for years and years and years, and you guys are kind of you guys are rolling right now. You know,
Speed running.
yeah, man, we appreciate that a lot, and we are like grateful because, yeah, like you say, there's a lot of people out there who try, and it's difficult, and yeah, it has been for us too, but we've had luck and we've worked our asses too a lot. It's like mind blowing. I don't know.
you guys write killer songs too, and that's a big thing. You know, not everyone writes killer songs. That's the thing is, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
you can play fast, you can have the look, but you have to write killer tunes. You know, and you guys do that, so that's a big part of it. You know,
thank you.
no, definitely. And you know what so anybody who wants to find like, you know, anything, you guys have a bunch of links. I saw like, you know, anything, first of all, the Bandcamp, right? That's where you can get most of the merch at that's left. Because you guys sold out of a
Yes.
lot of shit.
Yep. Yeah, we have the Bandcamp and mainly the Instagram page. We don't really use a lot of other social medias. We only use the Instagram page and maybe my Facebook, but it's just like the same shit from Instagram that just goes over there, and that's about it. Which is
Yeah,
Phantom underscore.
underscore,
I don't know how it's said. Speed
underscore, double
Yeah.
underscore.
double
And you know,
underscore.
before we let you guys go tonight, is there any bands that you guys play with in Mexico that you guys can recommend to anybody who, you know, is checking out the show?
Speed Freak.
Speed
They are
freak
very
or our
cool. They are
guys.
from our city, and they're like the only other speed metal band from around here, so we get along well with them. Also, Hector's bands, Exaversum and
Demonic Being.
Demonic Being,
Yes.
very cool black metal from here.
And I don't know, Dios Perro, which is like more grind thing, grind stuff. If you
From
know,
the For the guys that like the old shit, I'd say Megaton from here too, which it's an '80s band, heavy metal, classic heavy metal, speed metal, very cool. Hard
another
rocker,
Medical Negligence, if you like death
grindcore.
metal or grindcore. They're pulse
Nice.
too.
And you guys have so you've already wrapped up the Tyrants record. Are you guys already, even though it's not out yet, you already starting to write new material?
I have I have a few like 2 or 3 songs in the works right now because Ice War, the band from this guy Joe from Canada, wants us to make like a split or something, but I'm not really sure when we'll have the time to do this. But maybe like end of the year or next year. I'm not sure.
Because you guys, I mean, that's one thing for you guys are what? You guys are students. So are you guys? What are you studying, JC? Are you guys both students or?
I
Yeah,
already graduated.
I just got like out of high school and started a career in design, and it's my first semester. So yeah.
And I'm software engineer. I graduated in 2023, July 2023. So I'm just a software engineer working in my house. Fortunately enough, I have time to
You're playing
Phantom.
Keep It True Festival and a bunch of cool shit. So you know you can't beat it, man. You know. guys, we definitely appreciate you guys hanging out tonight, and we're looking for. I'm definitely looking forward to the record. Like I said, I've loved everything you guys have done so far. And Tyrants of Wrath comes out April 25th, 2025. And like we said, you got a video coming out today. And we're actually going to play the song Thunderbeast that you did the video for. What is this song? Is there anything at the song? What's the song about?
Yeah, it's about like war, and also about we have a variation of our logo, which is like this bat based on a Canadian band from the 80s called Bore, which only made like 2 demos. And I call it the Thunderbeast, so it's about that and tanks and shit like that, and heavy metal
And
lot of
vampires and monsters. I mean, it's just dumb shit thrown around.
Yeah, man.
Man, we appreciate you guys.
The less plain one there.
No,
But
that's
it
nice.
sounds
Well,
so
man,
cool, man. It sounds. I
Yeah.
love
The
the
solo.
Show No Mercy type chorus there and shit, and destruction stuff.
It's pretty good. One of my
Yeah.
favorites from the record. Probably.
cool, man. We're gonna play that on the way out here. You guys, if you guys start like touring the world, don't forget about the Tampa Morgue, man. Like we get a hold of you in a year. Don't be like, oh, we can only come on for like 2 minutes, man.
What the fuck? No, we're not like that, man.
We want to be grandfathered in now. We got you early. But
Our first English interview podcast.
Interview.
Yeah.
We won't forget that. At least in video. But yeah, man, of course.
We
not.
haven't forget about our first interview in podcast too.
I'm looking forward to watch and hear the other episodes. I want to watch that Mantas shit.
dude, that's
And
a
Uzo.
yeah. We got man. This is 5 hours and 22 minutes. I tell you, our
actually
show is
right
great if you're
there.
traveling, dude. If you're going to Europe, I mean, like we had Snowy Shaw from King Diamond on here for like 4 hours. We had Dawn of the Dead from Dunslaughter for like 4 hours. So we're perfect for like if you're flying somewhere.
Okay, I know what to listen to in my way to Europe now. The
Yeah,
Tampa
dude.
Morgue.
Yeah, that's right, man. So now, man, you guys are great, dude, and we appreciate you guys coming on the show and stuff. And we'll definitely have you back on the next record. And we'll keep people updated with what you're doing too. And hopefully, you come to Europe. Hopefully I catch one of your shows too. But like I said, man, you guys have a bright future, man, and definitely like what I've heard is awesome. And we appreciate you coming on the show and hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you for
Thanks,
the space,
man. Thanks for the space and having us here and all the support. We appreciate it a ton, and I like this shit a lot, man. I'm definitely gonna listen to more of this. So listen to the Tampa Morgue, bitch asses.
That's right.
See you at the Tampa Morgue.
Love it.
That's right. No, man. Yeah, guys, thanks a lot. And we'll say goodbye to you when we hang up here. For everybody else, we're going to play Thunderbeast from Phantom from the Tyrants of Wrath record that comes out April 25th, 2025. Yeah. And guys, we'll say goodbye to you in a minute. Anything else you want to say on your way out?
Pre-order the album, pre-order t-shirts, pre-order everything. We need money. Thank you.
See you in Europe. And yeah, like I said before, listen to the Tampa Morgue if you are not a wimp or a poser or some kind of retard. Do it. It's very fun.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And me and Ed will be back after this. We're going to play Phantom with Thunderbeast from time. We're going to play Phantom right now. But guys, thanks again. We'll talk to you in a minute. and that was Phantom with Thunderbeast from Tyrants of Wrath. That comes out April 25th, 2025. And I want to thank the guys from Phantom for hanging out. Fucking cool dudes. What's up, Ed?
First English interview.
Yeah. So we were
podcast,
Destructor, we were their first podcast ever when we had Glenn Destructor on from Australia, and we were the first English interview for Phantom.
Yeah.
So, and there's gonna be plenty more where that came from for them. Like I think that band's gonna have a pretty good ride. So,
Yeah. Hopefully they have a good tour in Europe, because they're, when you live in the US, it's a little different when you travel. I don't know what it would be like to travel from Mexico or South America to Europe. Traveling in is probably one thing, but traveling out, I don't know how that works. But man, they're lucky to be able to get that kind of tour, because as you know, it's not easy to tour Europe.
No,
it's just not. And it's not easy for anybody from Europe these days, it seems, to tour America.
Yeah. I mean, but the money now and stuff, I think for, like I said, Phantom, I mean, they have good songs. And like we were saying to those guys when they were on here, you see a lot of bands with the image. They have the album covers, the artwork, all that stuff. But, these Phantom, I mean, the songs are killer. And, what was it? Alice Cooper. We talked about Alice Cooper in the beginning of the show. What does Alice Cooper say? Where's the song? Well, Phantom has the song. So, best of luck to those guys. We'll definitely have them back on.
Youthful like that is crazy. Like Interceptor, just like how they sound like Venom. It's just like, man, you guys are too young to be fucking being able to do that kind of shit. Like,
it was funny because remember Jeff was like, we were talking to him and he was talking about how the sound of Venom, how you can't duplicate it, which is true. But I will say Interceptor
does a great
job
with
that old Venom sound.
I agree. So, yep.
Yeah. So that was definitely cool to have those guys on. And, I'm looking forward to the new record. Anybody who hasn't checked them out, definitely check them out. Young band, but yeah, Phantom from Mexico. So that was, like I said, we didn't know they were going to come on. We booked it basically, last week, this week, before we did the last episode. So that's how it runs on this show. We never, each week we play it by air.
You told me what time it was going to be.
Yeah.
So that's how we do it.
I started listening to them and I was like, man, this band's great. And then I was like, oh shit, they have a record coming out. So went back into the catalog a little bit and, try to get them on the Tampa Morgue, and it worked. So yeah, definitely appreciate them coming and hanging out with us. And Ed, I think that, tonight we're going to probably end it in a few minutes, man. We've been busy, obviously there's always something going on with the show, something on the background. We got a lot of stuff we're working on in episode 79. Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
Next is 80. I mean, it's if you would ask when we started doing this show, I knew we would, do some episodes, but I'm kind of like, I look like, so even when we're doing them now, I'm like, episode 80. I'm like, damn, already. I'm like, we've gotten to that, shows you time flies, man.
I think of it like this. If I had $80, I'd be happy. So 80 episodes is a lot. Like, it's a lot of episodes,
I mean, it's 4 a.m. and I'm doing a podcast. It's, but there's no rhyme or reason, man. You got to make it work. And, this is how it goes. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's time we're going to call it an eve, I mean, we'll be back. We've been basically every week we've been putting out a show now, so
we're back to being consistent,
Yeah.
The holidays are over. We're even if we, if we don't have guests, we have no problem making our own shows.
Yep.
We have substance. We can talk. And hopefully, as time goes on, there'll be more news generated. Maybe somebody can get into a fist fight at the Mug or something, or at the Orpheum or something. Some two bands could fight and have a duel or something.
You got some Battle of the Bands going on, so I mean,
I want to hear something brutal, so we have something to talk about. I may have to go there in a mask and just start some shit, and then run out. Like the Cannonball Run. Remember
Cannonball Run?
Dom DeLuise used to wear the mask and go start shit and then run away.
You remember his son, right? Don DeLuise's son was on 21 Jump Street, the old TV show.
It's great. Dude, we're old.
Yeah.
We're fucking old.
We are old, but again, I guess we're gonna call it an eve. Anybody who listens to the show, we totally appreciate it. Instagram is the best place to contact us. Facebook just fucking sucks. I mean, I can't help this. No offense to anybody who loves it, but for us, it's you have to pay to get traffic. It's Instagram is just for us, it's very easy to use. No politics. I fucking hate politics. No,
and if America ever buys TikTok, maybe we'll go ahead and get a TikTok going too.
I've never even seen a TikTok. Well, I think I have, but I don't know much about that shit.
I've seen it. My wife is into that shit, but I won't put it on my phone because the shit they want you to, you give your camera, your email, your text. I mean, I'm like, what do you need all that stuff for to be on an app to watch stupid people make videos? Seriously, like, what do you need my emails for?
We live in strange times.
We do.
We live in the craziest. I mean,
you know what's crazy is people will literally just say yes. They don't even read that shit.
Yeah, I never had TikTok. I mean, I remember people sending me the links and I couldn't open it because I didn't have it. I was like, I think you have to have it to be able to watch it or whatever.
Sometimes you can get away with it. Like they have cat videos, and my wife I hear her laughing her ass off in the back, and I hear her yell, "Watch what I sent you," and I go, every time I have to say, I can't. Like, I can't.
Dude,
like,
we have the best cat, bro. I did not want a cat. You know this. I was totally not wanting a pet. And everyone before they sent me hate mail, I had a cat for 20-something years named Abigail. Rest in peace. I miss her all the time. Loved her.
Great
she was more loyal than any woman, and she was with me for a long time. She was always, I love my wife. My wife's awesome, but I mean, Abigail was around the longest, over 20 years, passed away a couple years ago. Still think about her, still miss her, but the wife and kids wanted a cat. So now we have Medusa. Medusa is, I've told the story, I think, in a couple episodes prior to this. She's a cat that was rescued. She was actually, her owners were killed in Ukraine at the house. Then they moved her to a shelter and that got bombed. Then they moved her out of that. So now she lives with us. And my kids, dude, they'll be going through the house with their baby doll stroller and she's just sitting in it like E.T. on the bike, like in the movie, cruising around.
I need to get what's your coordinates? So
exactly.
Let's keep the cat going on the rockets.
The cat, I know the cat here with the chaos with the kids is nothing compared to what this cat has seen.
Oh yeah.
Well, the cat is totally. Too.
Yeah, it's chill. You know how I feel about cats in general. I have dogs.
Exactly.
But my wife, you have one. I've got 1, 2,
wife
3, 4,
cat?
5. I wish I had 5 wives. I have 5 cats.
Fuck that.
Yeah. 4 of them are inside, 1's outside. But you have a Medusa and I have a Miso. And let me tell you, the cat lets me cradle it, hold it. I could probably fucking whip it around my head like a t-shirt. The cat is just one of the most awesome fucking cats. And
I was depressed to find out Medusa means octopus here in Lithuania because people are like, oh, Medusa. I'm like, yeah, Medusa. I'm like, obviously Medusa, the myth.
The snake hair, yeah, right.
The snake lady. And everyone's like, oh, no, it's an octopus here. I'm like, what a buzzkill.
Yeah, wow.
I'm like, man.
We'll use the American.
Yeah,
definition. But yeah, no, I'm like you, man. Sometimes animals, but I'm a dog guy. I got 2
like Ed's Ark over there. You got Noah's Ark and there's like Ed's Ark. Yeah, we got Medusa only, and she doesn't scratch anything. She's good with the kids. I mean, I can't complain. Because I didn't, we talked about it many times on this episode. I'm like, when you talked about your pets, I'm like, I don't want any pets. I don't want any more pets. It's an emotional thing there. I travel back to the States.
When the kids get older, they're not going to take care of the animals. I can tell you from experience.
Oh, yeah.
I promise if you just get me this kitten, I'll take care of it. It'll be my best friend. Never happened. I drove to Sarasota for this dog, Chewy. He looks like Chewbacca, little version. Nope. You go and eat.
Ed's being attacked by a dog right now.
Yeah, so definitely she never took care of it. And now that dog's the secret service to my wife. She can't go piss without the dog having to follow her in the bathroom.
We've had many dogs on this show, if you think, because we've had your dogs barking in the background. Yeah. We had J.C.'s from Phantom's dog barking in the background. We had
what's his name?
Snowy?
Knox.
Knox, yeah, we had Knox from Enforced. It was dog. It's been several dogs that have made appearances on this show. So
Yeah, mine make more appearances than I want them to.
Bryce, he's a dog, but of a whole different kind. I mean,
yeah, he's a fucker. He's about to get stomped.
But oh man, 4:10 in the morning and Ed's smoking pot. It's time to go. Something's wrong.
Yeah, it ain't smoking no pot.
Something's wrong.
Don't say that. It ain't smoking shit.
Oh, they can't show up at your house anymore, man. It's all good. But
yeah, but it ain't happening anyway.
But everybody, again, we appreciate it. Another episode in the books. Ed, you got anything else? We'll be back here before you know it.
No, I'm going to be calling you in about 2 hours to wake you up.
Oh yeah, we got to do some editing. We got some editing.
We got plenty of time.
Yes, indeed. So again, everybody who listens to the show, we appreciate you. You can always check us out on Instagram or anywhere that podcasts are streamed. You can find audio on YouTube. Contact us at, what is the email, Ed?
thetampamorgue at gmail.com.
Or Instagram. Instagram's another great way to get a hold of us. Again, thank you to anybody who sends us the releases. We definitely appreciate that. Anybody who sends us any, the shows and stuff like that, feel free to send us more. And yeah, man, I think we're out of here, right, Ed?
Let's do it.
Peace, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Tampa Morgue. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
This is King Fally from Deceased, and you just listened to another episode of the Tampa Morgue. Tune in next week and stay fucking dead.